Welcome to Company Showcase, an advertising feature on HowStreet.com.
I'm Jim Goddard. I'm speaking with Larry Reaugh, CEO and President of American Manganese. Welcome back to the show, Larry.
Well, always glad to talk to you, Jim.
Finally, some financing has closed for your company. Can you tell us about it?
Well, we announced a $1.5 million financing at the beginning of, or the end of January or the beginning of February. And we closed it in two tranches, and we closed the last tranche on Friday, and that took us to an oversubscribed level from $1.5 million to a little over $2 million. So it was very successful, and it certainly loads the company up with the money that's required to move this through the next stage. We've announced that with Cometco earlier. And what's really intriguing me and exciting me is what's happening in the commodity markets with especially cobalt and now nickel. And I'd like to maybe go into a little detail on that.
Well, Larry, can you run down some of the commodity action?
Well, today the price of cobalt is $84,500 a tonne. Now, that is a significant rise in the last week, and it's really pointing the direction. I predict that we'll be over $100,000 a tonne by midsummer, and where it goes from there, it could go a lot higher. But this is going to also increase the costs of electric vehicles, and that could slow down the growth somewhat. But not necessarily that much, because they're certainly looking at NMC as being the preferred. That's nickel, manganese, cobalt being the preferred chemistry moving forward. And NMC has different levels of the amounts of cobalt in it. And as you move down the ladder, the cobalt gets less and less and less. Now, that would certainly cut into our profits, but, still looking at the value of the cathode materials, it would still be a very robust situation for us to follow up on. And so we are moving ahead. Now, what are they replacing the cobalt with? Well, nickel is the big one. And nickel produces a nickel sulfate for the battery industry. And there's not a lot of that going on. Most of it's pig iron for the stainless steel industry, and I'll return to that shortly. But they're going to have to increase the amount of nickel sulfate. And I know that the London Metal Exchange is looking at setting up a platform within the exchange on lithium sulfate. So, what's that mean? Well, nickel prices are going to start increasing, certainly for the sulfate. And, we're looking at $6 a pound now. 2 years ago, it was $4 a pound. And it actually went as high as, I'm trying to think of what the number would be, but close to $100 a pound back in 2006 and 2007. So you can see that nickel could have a long ways to go, but that was mostly driven by the stainless steel market, and after they introduced pig iron into the equation, that they were getting the nickel supplies from low purity deposits out of the Philippines, and the Philippines principally, but also there was another country, and I just can't think of the name of it right now. But that flooded the market, brought the prices down, and it also brought the prices of the manganese metals down, because manganese metal was used heavily in 200 series stainless steel, and that's what propelled the price upward. And of course, the Chinese reacted to that market by building dozens, if not hundreds, of manganese metal factories in China. And so there was overcapacity, and the fact that nickel prices were dropping through the floor, and a better product was made for stainless steel out of nickel, so the stainless 200 kind of fell off the table. With the scenario we're seeing today, the stainless 200 could come back on the table very soon, and that would be very good for the for our project in Arizona at Artillery Peak, because we produced a pre-feasibility study on that, and it wouldn't take much of a bump in price to bring it back into the black. But right now, currently, the prices haven't changed. We're not seeing much change in that direction, but I will be talking more about manganese in another podcast. And but I'm pretty excited about what's happening out there. Everything I see has a positive spin for the company. I mean, we're exposed to 5 different commodities. In our recycling, we can increase the manganese one by Artillery Peak, but then we're exposed in 2 areas. And, of course, we're exposed in the cobalt area with our prospect up at Hazelton, which the Australian company is going to be starting work on this summer. Now, that said and done, we have as much chance as any cobalt explorer out there of making a significant find. So I got my fingers crossed on that one. But the nickel is something that I've been thinking about for a while, and I see it's finally hit the mainstream press. And I just wanted to comment on that because more nickel production or nickel sulfate for the battery industry, the lithium-ion battery industry, certainly is also a plus for us. We're not exposed in any properties with nickel, but we certainly will be heavily exposed in the recycling. So that is, I think that's a great thing to look forward to for our shareholders. Everything seems to be a perfect storm for the company, although you wouldn't be able to tell that with the markets eroding the way they are. I still believe that American Manganese is in a very good pattern here for anybody that wanted to invest in it. So I think that's about all I got to say on that, Jim.
Larry, where are you traded, under what symbols, and how can people contact your company?
Okay, we're traded on the TSX Venture Exchange under the symbol AMY. We're traded on the over-the-counter in the U.S. under the symbol AMYZF. We're traded in Frankfurt under the symbol 2AM. People can do due diligence on us. There's a lot of information on our site at AmericanManganeseInc.com. They can email me at LREAUGH@AMYMN.com, or they can phone at 778-574-4444.
Larry, thanks for the update.
You're welcome.
We've been speaking with Larry Reaugh, CEO and President of American Manganese. I'm Jim Goddard. We were speaking on March 9th.
Comments made on Company Showcase are an expression of opinion only and should not be construed in any manner whatsoever as recommendations to buy or sell any financial instrument at any time. Archived online at HowStreet.com. Company Showcase is a production of How Street Media Incorporated.